Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to say a big thank you to my subscribers, and if this is your first time here, you're highly welcome. In today's video, we will be drafting the pattern for this beautiful dress. If it is something you're interested in, let's get started. I'll start by drawing a straight line across my pattern paper to serve as my shoulder line. From there, I'll go down by 9 inches, which will serve as my bust point, then measure my under bust and my waistline. This drafting will be stopping at the waistline because my gown has an half cut, and that is what I'm going to be doing. I'll rule across to give me my straight line. Then from the center point of my pattern paper, I will take the half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches, then my neck width, which is 3 inches. From the shoulder measurement, I will come down by 1 inch, then connect on the straight line to my neck width to make my shoulder slope. From the shoulder slope, I will come down by 6.5 inches. Normally my armhole is 7 inches, but because my gown is a sleeveless, so I'll be reducing my armhole with half of an inch, and then I will connect and draw a line to meet it, and that will serve as my chest line. From the line I drew down from the slope, I'll measure the midpoint, then come in by half of an inch, then measure the quarter of my bust measurement and connect to give me my armhole. After doing this, I will take half of my bust band, which is also known as nipple to nipple measurement, down the waistline to the waistline, connect with a ruler. From the shoulder slope, I will take the half of the shoulder slope and connect it in a straight line to the bust point. Then from the waistline, I will go in by half of an inch on both sides of the dart line and repeat the same thing on the bust point, on the under bust line also, connect with a line. Then I'm trying to extend the chest line. After doing this, I'll use my curve to connect the new line I drew on the under bust to the to the dart line on the bust point. From the chest line, I'll be going up by 1.5 inches because I did not want my yoke to be too low. I'll draw a line across to form my new yoke line. Then on the shoulder line, I will also go in on by half of an inch on both sides, connect with my curve. Then I trace out with my marker to make the lines more visible. Now, if you look at the bustier, you might be thinking the curves are not too obvious. It's not necessary since I will not be putting breast wadding or bra cup, so it is not necessary for the curves to be too curvy. So when I'm done with this, I'll be taking my neck depth, which is 3 inches, and connect with my ruler to make my neckline. From the center point, I will come in by 1 inch, then mark 4 inches across. Make sure whatsoever measurement you're using, it cuts across the shoulder line. So I was trying to trace it to make sure that it is still 4 inches, and I was trying to mark the midpoint, and that is the midpoint. Then I'll come up by 3 inches, or you can come up by any inch you want depending on how open you want the keyhole to be. And you can see me using my hand to trace it out because I wanted my keyhole to be curvy, just like the picture I like, just like the style I am recreating, not slanted. And after doing this, I traced it out with my marker. I already measured quarter of my bust measurement, so I'll be adding the dart I took out on the yoke line, which is 1 inch. Then I'll be adding my sewing allowance. I'll repeat the same thing on the waistline, the quarter of my waist measurement, add the dart I am taking, and also my sewing allowance. Then I'll be connecting. Then I'll cut it out. And that's the final look for the front pattern. For the back pattern, I'll be drawing a straight line also to serve as my shoulder line, come down to measure my bust points, my underbust, and my waistline also. This is me drawing straight line across. After doing this, I'll be taking out my zipper allowance, and that is going to be 1.5 inches. I'll be drawing a straight line down from the shoulder line down to the waistline that will serve as my zipper allowance. I want to trace out with my marker right now. Now the new measurements, I'll be taking it from the zipper line I drew. I'll be taking it from the zipper line I drew. So I will also go in by 7 inches, which is the half of my shoulder measurement. Then my neck width, which is 3 inches, come down by 6.5 inches, just like I did for the front pattern. Then I'll go in by half of my bust span, which is also 3.5, measure down to the waistline, connect. Then on the waistline, I'll go in by half of an inch on both sides and connect it to the dot line on my chest line. Mark the quarter of my bust measurement, then take the midpoint, come in by half of an inch and connect to give me my hand move. After doing this, I will add my sewing allowance to the bust measurements because I already taken that. Then on the waistline, I'll mark the quarter of my waistline. Take also add the that I took and add the sewing allowance, and that is that I'll connect. And on my neckline, I'm coming down by 1 inch and connecting to give me my back neckline, and I'll be cutting it out. For this particular style, there's no dart on the back piece, and I'll be closing in the dots on the pattern paper with my paper tape, and that is all for the back pattern. For the basque part of the gown, I drew a straight line which served as my waistline. Then from there I am coming down by 10 inches because that is how long I want my basque to be. You can decide how long you want it to be. You can come down by 11 inches or you can even go up by 9 inches depending on your choice. So, and this is me drawing out my waistline, and I am drawing a straight line on the side of the pattern paper because I am using a piece I cut out and I wanted my line to be straight so I can have a perfect measurement. On the waistline, I'll measure the quarter of my waistline, then add my sewing allowance. On the down part, I'll measure my hip measurement, the quarter of my hip measurement, and add my sewing allowance and connect with my curve. After doing this, I will come down by 4 inches from the waistline, and from there I will draw a slanted line to connect to the hip line, as you can see. Then I will cut out, and that is all for the back part of the gown, and this is for the front pattern. And for the back, just add your zipper allowance and we are good to go. And this is the final look, everyone. In my next tutorial, I'll be showing you how to cut on the fabric, join, and the final look. Thanks for watching. Bye.